Hello, America. Hello, world. I've heard about the Teresa Watson versus East St. Louis School District 189 and General Service Employees Local 382 case. It involved race, religion, retaliation, sexual harassment, and injuries to her hand and foot matters that happened at work. So I am being transformed into a leopard. You can still see some traces of me being a panda bear, but I'm being turned into a leopard. As I'm being turned into a leopard, there's some things going a little not as planned, and you see something that looks like a human here, but I am a panda bear being turned into a leopard. Don't know if it's a good idea or if it's not a good idea or if it's a good idea. So I was born a panda bear, but I'm being turned into a leopard. So we'll see how this goes. Hey there, I heard about the case too. Yeah, I heard about that case that the other panda bear just mentioned. I'm a panda bear, and I'm going over some. Well, I, 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 I'm a panda bear, but I want to be a zebra. So I have some stripes that are growing here and also some human stuff that's happening to me too. But this panda bear stuff, pandas are nice. I like being a panda, but I want to be a zebra. So my stripes are coming, and pretty soon this panda thing will be gone. Once again, pandas are nice, but I want to be a zebra. Check out my stripes. It'll all come together. This zebra thing, black and white panda style and black and white zebra. It'll all work out. Okay? Just be patient and bear with me. Yeah, I heard those stories. Here I am. I've got the panda style also. Here are those other two. One of us pandas want to be a leopard. The other wants to be a zebra. I want to roll with the zebra thing too. So my stripes are going pretty good. I'm almost covered, and hopefully we'll get them going in the right direction pretty soon. So the panda thing is nice, but I want to be a zebra. Yeah, I want to be a zebra. So um, stay tuned, and we'll see how this thing goes. Yeah, here, guess I can tell my story. Being a bear is cool. Being a bear is cool, but I I'm being turned into a giraffe, like the other guys, the other girls. Got some human stuff going on with this change that's going on, but I want to be a giraffe. Don't want to be a bear anymore. Bears are nice, but I want to be an elegant looking giraffe. Um, you might see a little black and white there. I was trying on a piece of jewelry, and I was thinking of becoming a panda, but I'm going to go and become a giraffe. So stay tuned. And yeah, I heard about the case and the sexual harassment and the other parts of it. So with so many changes going on in this world, this universe, I think it's a bit, maybe not. We'll see when this whole thing plays out. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and become a giraffe. Okay? So we'll see how it goes. I have to be patient while we try to figure this thing out. Yeah, I'm here too. I'm a bear, natural born bear. Natural born bear. Uh, I'm cool with yogi, and Winnie, you know, cool with them. So uh, cool friends that makes me a cool me, right? Well, um, me, um, my story is, yeah. I heard about the case and um, the sexual harassment, them trying to make Teresa um, go against her natural beliefs. She's a natural born woman and wanting to do what natural women do, and they're trying to make her be something else. So, um, um, with all the um, permission for all the different changes, I'm taking advantage of it. So I'm a natural born bear, but I, like the other panda, I want to be a zebra. So you see these stripes here? Um, they're eventually going to turn black and white, and somehow I got some human stuff going on here, so I look a little human around the lower neck, chest area. Um, you're probably wondering, probably saying, "Hey, bears can't talk. You know, why is it they can talk?" Well, um, we kind of sound alike too. So, what's going on? You know, some birds can talk. You know, a number of birds can talk. So, um, they've worked with us, and that's that's what you're getting here. So, I I I'm gonna see if they can tune my voice up. I want to sound something like Marilyn Monroe, so I can sing "Happy Birthday to you, Happy Birthday to you." So we're working on it. So stay tuned. We'll see how these things go. Thanks for your patience. Yeah, here I am, part of the crew. Um, uh, to piggyback, um, don't want to be a pig, but to piggyback on that last little chat I watched, um, yeah, we're going through the voice. We've had some voice um, uh, uh, changes. Uh, bears normally don't talk, and I am a natural born bear, but decided to take advantage of these changes that we're allowed to do. So I I want to be a lion. Roar. I want to be a lion. king of the jungle. There's some voice changes going on right now. Medicine's working. Well, my changes are going pretty good. Mainly all that's left to switch here is the face. So you never know. I could wake up in the morning and have my lion face. We'll see how it goes. Um, the kind of voice that I would want, um, certainly Barry White or um, I'd like to be able to hit some high notes too, like Prince. Um, so we'll see how it goes. Thanks for your patience, and yeah, all of us have heard about the case. Um, Teresa Watson versus East St. Louis School District 189. It's been 10 long years since the unwarranted hearing that took place, where she was pushed. One girl tried to push her into the stairwell and do things that Teresa wasn't born to do with another female. So, yeah, it's a changing world, but it's a good time to be, for me, a bear to become a lion. So, stay tuned. We'll see how this goes, and thanks for your patience. I feel like Rudolph. This thing is really working with my nose here. I'm cute. I'm cute. She said I'm cute. I'm cute. Remember that? Well, yeah, been hearing those bears talk. I heard about the case too, and yes, I used to be a bear, but now I'm a clown. hmm Well, I heard about the case, and ooh, it really seemed to be a circus, and still going on, completely over in the eyes of the courts. But um, if you would have proven your case backwards and forwards, would you just throw the money? And you just like, hey, forget it. I never want it. I think you'd always want it. So, um, whatever good, honest, and pure tricks you'd pull them. So, I'm here on behalf of Teresa Watson also. Well, I mean, I've heard about the case for sure, and I'm certainly, hoping for miracles. It's completely over in the eyes of the courts. Yep, been a circus. Completely over. It's been 10 long years. October 6, 2009 was the day that Teresa had to walk away from a lady who was in a supervisor position over her, as she worked on a job that was not even hers, that she was not even hired for. Um, she was being overworked and sent from school to school to school to school to school to unpack boxes and boxes of books, new books. And October 6, 2009, the supervisor was harassing her, and she walked away. Yeah, I heard the story. She walked away and uh, tried to call for help, and then that's what ended the drama. So sometimes, you see in the news where people go, okay, that was that many years ago, and that first person finally got paid. Well, you're supposed to remain hopeful. Religion is a part of the case, so you're supposed to be hopeful um, and expect miracles all the time. Nobody's perfect, but if you're putting forth some effort and trying to live a respectful life and a life that's pleasing to God, God bless America, land that I love. Um, and then, you're supposed to expect miracles. So anyway, it's getting late. Don't feel like clowning around much. Feel like clowning around much. But anyway, I heard those guys, even a clown sometimes gets a little serious, um, because this is a serious thing. So October 2009, she had to walk away, um, to try to call for help versus get into a clown fight with her, with the person who was placed in a supervisor position, um, who was sexually harassing her, and she had refused to give in and kept, doing all kind of good circus acts trying to avoid any drama. So um, I once again, I used to be a bear, but here I am. I'm a clown, and I kind of feel like a deer, a red-nosed reindeer, because this nose part is really not comfortable. But I might become a bear again. We'll see how it goes. um, so stay tuned, and thank you for your time and your attention as we try to just remember, um, uh, to always want righteousness. So, okay, uh, be patient now, as all these changes take place. Hopefully, some changes for righteousness will take place. When they see me, they say, here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Here, pussycat. Here, kitty, kitty. Here, pussycat. Come here, kitty, kitty. How cute you are. Hey, pussycat. Hey, kitty, kitty. Come here, kitty, kitty. Well, hmm, that's an interesting name. Pussycat. Kitty, kitty. Meow. Meow. Anyway, um, yeah, I've been hearing those other characters talk about the case. 10 long years since Teresa Watson had to walk away from someone in the position of a supervisor over her in a job that she was not even supposed to be in, had been placed there for harassment for months, working from school, different schools, unpacking books, being harassed by the supervisor, sexually harassed. And so that was the case, sexual harassment, men and women. And she's a lifelong heterosexual female. So, I used to be a bear. No time for clowning around. Got to wrap this thing up. It's getting late. Want to get it ready for YouTube. And producing is hard. I need to find this number 5. Maybe I'll do it for the next um, character. I will. But as I said, heard about the case, sexual harassment, kitty cats, and stuff were involved. Human um, kitty cats, and kitty cats, female kitty cats. But anyway, in relation to that, in one of the last videos, I saw that Teresa talked about the stages of the great stages that go on when a male and female are together, husband and wife, supposed to be. Um, boyfriends and girlfriends get it going on at times too. But anyway, this was the chart that was shown. Talks about the different stages of an orgasm. There is the excitement, the plateau, the orgasmic, and the resolution, also called the refractory period. I usually know that in my sleep. I couldn't think of it. I mean, she couldn't think of it. Here I am clowning around still. She couldn't think of it during the last video. So it's excitement, um, plateau, orgasmic, resolution, or refractory. I know better. So God is good. And those stages are for the male and also the female. So there is no graphic like this for the female, but same thing is going on, but the tools are made different. So this is the male in the relaxed state, and then him in the more excited state. So once again, the case was about sexual harassment. Teresa's a lifelong heterosexual, so the female thing didn't work. Neither the males that she was not attracted to. So it was sexual harassment, race, retaliation, religion. None of us are perfect, but we should be trying to be. So said that in regards to religion. And also the workplace related injuries to her hand and foot. So yeah, I've heard about the case, and meow, hopefully someday justice will come about. The case is completely over in the eyes of the courts, but you're supposed to keep the faith, keep believing that something has happened. In the news once again. Some people feel, wow, it took all that time for this miracle to happen. So this is what people go through. You know, they will do what's right and never lose hope. And it's not meant to, because other things haven't taken off yet. So here is to the 10 years of still being around, and keep up the good work. Thank you all for your prayers. And once again, you can get involved. You know, you're not just supposed to let injustice prevail. So you want justice to prevail. So stay tuned. And hey there, I did not used to be a bear. I wasn't a cat. I wasn't a clown. It's me, and I want you to know America, and world. Producing, directing, writing. Uh, it's awesome for us creative people. It's beautiful. But guess what? It's not always easy. So let's back up to one of my last videos. I'm about to show you a number 5, and I've kept it in my purse for a day like today so that I can tell you that in the last video, it shows up backwards. So it's still going to show up backwards. So um, that just adds to the humor. So I can't turn it around because it needs to be the actual candle. Then I could maybe flip it around and have it to reflect a correct 5. We don't want it to be 50 years. And this is, maybe I can turn this around. I don't know. But, you know, the camera plays tricks. So we don't want it to be 50 years before I have justice, you know, and um, they'll be looking for some kind of relative to, hey, can you come and stand in for her? So I should have justice today. It's been 10 long years since I walked away from this particular individual who was my supervisor. put in a supervisor position over me. On YouTube, there's the video. It says, um, where would it be? Hang on just 1 second. I'm going to find it. I found it, and I'm going to read it to you. You can go to YouTube, Teresa Watson versus East St. Louis School District 189 and General Service Employees Local 382. That's enough to bring up the video. And there are a number of videos out there. And this one says Teresa Watson versus ESL District 189 and Local 382. My lifestyle, heterosexuality. 1, 2, 3, Adam and Eve. So I talk about the 10/6/09 date. So it says, that it was published on February 26, 2014. My case was en route to the appellate court. And so I put all of this stuff out on YouTube so the appellate court could say, wow, she did prove her case, and she's more than proving it again by making these videos available to us and then letting us know that they're out there. So it says, District 189 refused to produce their audio hearing of this person's, I name her, requested unwarranted hearing, which took place on 10/6/09, in which this person, this particular supervisor, I just don't want to read her name. I'm just trying to, you can go out there and read it. It says, in which she, the individual, confessed to another individual that her more than disorderly conduct toward me only ended after I stopped working on an added assignment to try to call for help. At this particular time, it was a school board president asked of my story. I'm not naming him at this particular time, but you can go out and read it. Hinted of concealed discrimination and very quickly ended this 10/6/09 unwarranted hearing after hearing me clearly confirm having to call for help because that person, her threatening behavior, and informing him twice that there was no altercation on my part. Exhibit 13 reveals a St. Clair County, Illinois record of that supervisor who was placed over me. I'm not naming her. Of her more than disorderly conduct. That particular supervisor, and then this other person is named, who was an assistant superintendent. Mentioned Donna, mentioned this person who has the same name, who worked for an outside company. Okay, that's mentioned here. I was hired as a media technician to work in the computer lab, not to do the excessive library work of this particular book company's representatives. They're named here. District hired consultants or district librarians. So I wasn't hired to do all of this particular work that these people should have been doing that I was being made to do. Then it goes on to say, but I did the excessive work and with a work-related hand injury as advised by the person who was placed over me as a supervisor. And it's named here. After this person is named, was a school board member. Excuse me. After she asked me of this particular church is named, after she asked me of the matter, I then proved, the assistant superintendent is named here, that her 10/6/09, that their 10/6/09 unwarranted hearing comments false regarding a principal who was over me at one point. Anyway, go on out there and read this. You can read it and you can read the names, and you can call the pastors who eventually became on the financial advisory board after the local school board was ousted. you can call them and say, hey, you all came on board when the case was in federal court, and you were supposed to stand up, especially since religion was a part of the case, especially since sexual harassment and same-sex sexual harassment was involved against a person who um, works to live a good Christian life. None of us will be perfect, but I know I score pretty high. So go on out there and read that. And you can play the video. It's an audio, actually, of the 10609 unwarranted hearing. Here we are 10 years later, and the court cases are completely over in the eyes of the court. But I more than proved my case, and here I am, still hoping to encourage justice. So different people believe in different things. Everybody is not into religion or into God, so I don't force that. God doesn't force that. So different people are into different things. There's a lucky charm, a four-leaf clover, um, a ladybug, a beautiful God-blessed rainbow. Um, and there's a rabbit's foot. So, and this one is a lucky star. And I guess that's a leprechaun's hat, I'm sure. Some people are into crossing their fingers, hoping for righteousness or working towards righteousness. Some people believe that you can make a pot of black-eyed peas for the first day of the year and have good luck. Well, once again, I practice the Christian faith. So, in the beginning, there was Adam and Eve. So, as the video says, 1, 2, 3, Adam and Eve. You'll see it. That's the style that I practice. Pretty soon, it'll be Christmas for those who celebrate Christmas. So be inspired. There's the star that shined over the stable and the three wise men. So pick up your telephone, make a visit, encourage righteousness, please. Pretty soon it'll be Easter. So our heartaches and pains don't compare to this, but we as humans, these are our crosses. I have endured hardness as a good soldier of Jesus Christ. 10 long years of this unrighteousness. So once again, pretty soon you'll be celebrating Easter for those who celebrate. There's the empty tomb. So let that affect you working for righteousness. He's living inside of you. Jesus is living inside of those who practice the faith. So be encouraged for righteousness. The case was about race, religion, retaliation, sexual harassment, and injuries to my hand and foot. I went to a Stevie Wonder concert. Even being out here on this Underground Railroad is one comparison that I use. And Stevie Wonder said, over there in that hot sun, meaning where Jesus was born. So who wouldn't be cooked? So as far as people being offended by pictures of color, God is bigger than color. So what do I have here? Sometimes I give these to people. I'm not trying to force anything on anybody, but for those who practice celibacy or heterosexuality, then stay encouraged. This is something to help you to be encouraged. For those who are confused and who would like to know the right, know how God would feel about your sexuality, you can read Genesis 19, 1 through 13, Leviticus 18, 22 through 30, and Romans 1, 24 to 32. I keep these in my purse sometimes so that if someone does want to talk about it and they want it, then I give it to them. Never pushing anything on anybody. For those who practice the Christian faith, it's written that we should all stand before the judgment seat of Christ and have to give an account for the good and the bad. Years ago, when I read it, I said, the good? Even the good? So, yeah, because people do good for different reasons, you know, want to do good to be seen, want to do good for tax purposes, on and on and on. So I didn't tear this off and make this until today at the library. I want to change my earrings. A special person gave me some earrings recently. They once worked for the employer. So anybody that's been mistreated by them, whether it's just all mistreatment is wrong, but if you've been made to do things that was against your natural and spiritual beliefs, then um, my efforts are for you too, certainly for the children and for making a better America, a better world, certainly for hoping to have my compensation someday. So I've showed you these guys before. These little military personnel. So here he is on his knees calling for help. So he's probably dealing with a casualty. My point is, we're in a battle. I deserve compensation. These guys and girls are out there fighting for the wars that they believe in. So this has been a war. This is a war that I'm in. So I hope that you'll join with me and help me to have righteousness. So 10 long years. Today, October 6, 2009, I walked away from a supervisor instead of being in a physical fight with her as she wanted. And I tried to call for help. So it's late. It's 11:36. I'm going to try to get this out there on the internet before midnight. Thank you for your time, and thank you for working for righteousness. I hope you will.